Hi, this is Sherry Veronica. The person of interest in this particular blog is Samaria Agard Cave. Now, her son is in prison, and it seems as though she's hell bent, according to this communication, she's hell bent on getting other people in jail. She wants revenge, okay? So they're saying that she has no one to blame but herself for what her son has found himself in. Now, she has one son in prison, but all two, they're saying, were involved in killing Kadeem. And she's saying that all of them have to get locked up too. Everyone else that, names were being called persons of interest. And you know already that RJ and Derek, and that may be a different matter, but they're out on bail. They're out on bail already, okay? But she's saying that all of these other people need to be locked up, okay? So let me try to start from here. That's why she's running to the police all the time. And it isn't anyone's fault but hers that her two sons are doing crime. Kyrese and Kezario, if they're calling for brand names, like if they want brand whatever, clothing or whatever, and you don't have the money, somebody's going to have to put their money in their pocket. So that's why they go out and they do small robberies. I don't know how they're talking about Samaria, thinks that people don't really understand where she's coming from, how she's claiming that her son, she and her son were shot at. They're saying, it's been alleged that Samaria Agard Cave is making up stories saying that she was shot at. She's trying to make herself seem like a victim, but no one knows about any shooting, and the police didn't go to her house about any shooting. So you can read this, and let me see if I can pick up from somewhere. Samuel Denny, they're talking about Samuel Denny. He tells she's bringing the boy by him in Bridge Gap, and the boy didn't go to school, while she's telling the wrong people her business because she won't stop talking. And they're saying, well, you think if they really shot at her, they would have missed? These people are trying to figure out also what's going on in their neighborhoods, and I'm like a way to get it out there. But they're saying that she's playing games, okay? Samaria Agard Cave, she's playing games, running back and forth to the police and running up by the prison carrying money, and she's bragging how much money Samuel was giving her. Now she's celebrating his 23rd, his birthday on April 23rd, that's gone. And please, they need guidance. They need guidance. And instead of her cursing people when they come to complain about her son, she needs to pray for, she needs to pray for herself, and, and the same friends that she's talking with and laughing with, they know the score, they know what's going on, and they're saying that she's going to be sick from tragedy if they don't correct their ways, okay? Because they're talking about karma, so she, they're trying to say that if she doesn't correct her ways, that she will suffer from regret, and karma will show up at her door, okay? So this blog is about Samaria Agard Cave. She is a person of interest in all of the mess that's going on in Barbados, with her sons being implicated in crimes. And because her sons are implicated, she is trying to bring other people in by creating stories and calling the police. And we all know that if you get to the police first, they'll come and get the person that was being complained of. They don't do investigations. If someone calls your name and goes to the police and they make a statement, chances are, especially if you're giving favors and you're doing what you're doing within the police that come to to show you, some, affection, and they show as though they care for you and what you're saying. If you go to the police station to make a complaint, chances are they'll go and arrest the person that you're complaining about. So it's a lot of dirty games that are being played in Barbados, and a lot of gang action, and the mothers are implicated because the children have not been brought up well. They were not guided in the right direction, and a lot of people are possessed. In your Bible, they talk about evil spirits and the spirits being removed from people and put in pigs, and the pigs running off a cliff and falling into the sea. That is something that maybe needs to happen. A lot of people in Barbados are possessed by evil spirits, and you see them daily, the way they are putting out their X-rated videos, and the way they are walking up in those horrible, the music is really bad, but they have the black females in there. When you see someone behaving like that, when you see someone lying and conniving and out there with their panty shorts and walking up and carrying on like that, they're possessed with an evil spirit. So an evil spirit has jumped on them, and if you want to, you can get rid of it, you can change your behavior. But if they continue in that behavior, you're dealing with an evil spirit, a demon. And I'm always saying, do not let them in your home. Do not invite them to your home, okay? This is Sherry Veronica.
Help me spread the word about Naked Departure via social media. Subscribe and share to show support and love for our channels.